that's dope, you know. So, you know, it was good sparring. It was very good experience for me.
You don't have to pick a winner, but just who would you lean toward in that fight? I mean, you would know. Who would you lean toward? Him, the way we focused on him.
The bigger guys training for this, how's that felt?
You said
sparring, yeah, sparring the bigger guys.
Oh, I've always sparred bigger guys.
Yeah.
I never sparred nobody my size, so that's nothing new.
Okay, guys.
Since he couldn't get the win over Canelo in 3 fights, Gennady Golovkin has decided to help out Crawford to achieve this feat in 1 fight.
When you reflect on your career and all the victories you've achieved, is there one particular fight for both of you that stands out as the most meaningful and you said, damn, I did that with pride?
I would say for me, you know, the most meaningful fight for me was becoming a world champion, you know, but in the fans' eyes, my biggest moment was against Errol Spence.
For me, I have many, but I think with Triple G is one of my biggest.
Terence Crawford resumed training camp immediately after the press conference tour, and he received the visit of Gennady Golovkin just 2 days into training. Of course, it's no easy task to beat Canelo Alvarez, as only 2 boxers have been able to do that. And now Golovkin is set to make Crawford the 3rd man to defeat Canelo in September. Everyone knows the greatest asset of Triple G is his power, and that was what he focused on with Crawford. He gave Crawford some boxing techniques to work on improving his punch power. And then he had moments where he spoke with Crawford and told him about some vulnerabilities in Canelo's fighting that may not be clear until one gets the experience in the ring with him. Terence Crawford knows much more than to risk his invincible career of 41 fights against Canelo Alvarez. And to avoid any disaster, he sought the help of Canelo Alvarez's previous opponents. Just a few months ago, we saw Terence Crawford in the gym with Floyd Mayweather.
So Jake Paul's in town, you guys gonna get dinner?
I don't think so.
Maybe next time.
Canelo, can you fill in the blank for me? Triple G is blank.
Huh?
Can you fill in the blank? Triple G is blank.
And now, Crawford has turned to Triple G for help, despite Canelo defeating him twice in their trilogy. Till date, it remains a huge controversy as to whether their first fight was truly a draw, seeing that Gennady Golovkin outlanded Canelo Alvarez in 10 of the 12 rounds, only for the judges to score the fight a draw. The result of the first fight set the pace for a trilogy, where Canelo Alvarez then proved himself in the remaining 2 fights.
I mean, you don't have to give details. I know you guys are competitive, but what was that sparring like on, fight fans want to know?
It was dope. It was dope. I appreciate Drake for even, giving me the opportunity to step in the ring with him. I can say that.
Well, Crawford wants to understand how Gennady Golovkin could disturb and dominate Canelo Alvarez, leading him to a controversial draw. The friendship between Terence Crawford and Gennady Golovkin really started when rumors spread about a possible fight between them last year. But here's the first lesson Crawford learned from Triple G. It was in how hard Canelo Alvarez's punches are. Arguably the biggest punch of all 3 fights for Triple G against Canelo came in their first meeting, when Canelo landed a huge right hand in the 9th round and caught Golovkin clean. Triple G has revealed to DAZN just how hard the punch was, and the answer may certainly be of interest to Crawford. I remember that punch. I let it get through. I don't know what to call it. It wasn't hard. It felt kind of like a slap, I guess. A slap or a sliding punch. Well, it didn't do too much.
This is the perfect boxing punch. Canelo puts up a high guard and parries the jab that Kovalev throws. Now Canelo explodes and pretends he's going for a liver shot that makes Kovalev duck slightly to protect his body, but Canelo goes high and lands the hook right on the ear, messing up Kovalev's equilibrium. And once he drops his hands, Canelo lands a right hand that knocks him out.
With Golovkin playing down Canelo's power, it may give Crawford even more optimism ahead of their likely meeting. Aside from their conversations, Terence Crawford also had a brief sparring session with him, just like he did with Floyd Mayweather some weeks ago when the Crawford versus Triple G fight did the rounds. Many found it quite questionable. Some fights in boxing are just not possible, regardless of how much you might want them to happen. Such is the case in the story where rumors suggested His Excellency Turki Alalshik was exploring a mega fight between former undisputed welterweight champion Terence Crawford and former super middleweight champion Gennady Golovkin.
Однозначно да, потому что я скажу так, наверное, во мне вот эта вот страсть к боксу еще пока не остыла. В данный момент у меня 3 пояса в 160, мне надо решать свои вопросы. Ну, я думаю, даже скажу, может быть, немножко громко, я неплохо себя чувствовал, и если вы видели, как бы я, в принципе, даже не...
Triple G, 42, never officially announced his retirement from the sport. But after suffering his second career defeat at the hands of Canelo Alvarez in 2022, he never returned to the sport. He would further become the head of Kazakhstan's Olympic Committee, partly ending speculations about his return. Regardless, the Saudi royal hopped on X recently to debunk these rumors. After the rumors about Alalshik wanting to arrange their fight in 2025 started spreading on social media, Fight Hub TV picked up the story and asked their followers, "What do you think, fight fans?" This seems to have caught the Saudi advisor's eye, who quickly docked at the comment section to write, "Not truth," revealing the whole thing was a hoax, and he has no intentions of making such a bout. Even after he revealed the truth about the Crawford versus Triple G fight rumors, fans couldn't help but share their thoughts about the hypothetical fight. Despite being in what seems like a retirement, Golovkin boasts a loyal fan base online who quickly took his side. One user felt Triple G must still have his power despite his age. The user wrote, "At 160, Triple G might be slow, but I'm sure he is still powerful. But have people seen Triple G lately? The man looks retired and like he hasn't sparred, ran 6 miles in 2 years." Interestingly, even though he doesn't look like he will return to boxing, he has hinted at a potential return in several interviews.
Люди заслуживают такие бои, их надо
I believe that boxing fans will win, definitely, and promoters too. Though fights like this need to happen.
The next user shared their prediction for the bout. Crawford will not step in the ring for this fight. Triple G will stop Crawford within 7 rounds by stoppage, wrote the user. Notably, in Crawford's last 12 bouts, he has gone the distance only once, meaning he is no pushover. Akin to the previous user, this guy has similar thoughts. Prime Triple G versus Bud. Triple G wins with ease, wrote the user. In his prime, Golovkin actually had one of the most scary knockout ratios, with 42 wins and 37 knockouts.
В принципе, даже не пропускал и не устал. То есть я показал, что есть силы, чему я очень рад. Где бы я бы ни находился, я, конечно, буду думать о том, как вернуться.
On top of that, Crawford's climb to higher weight classes wouldn't have helped him either. The next user seemed dumbfounded by the matchup. "Shake my head. Terence may need to retire. He has no one else to fight. They are just pulling hell out of a hat at this point," the user remarked. However, that's not exactly true. Jaron Boots Ennis has been itching to fight Crawford, but Bud has refused to participate. Meanwhile, this user seemed to like the prospect of the hypothetical matchup. "Old Triple G versus Crawford would be amazing," the user wrote. Both were elite fighters with a wealth of skills. Indeed, it would have been a great matchup. Some fights in boxing are just not possible, regardless of how much you might want them to happen.
¿Qué dirías?
Pocos huevos.
No balls.
No balls.
Such is the case in today's story, where rumors suggested His Excellency Turki Alalshik was exploring a mega fight between former undisputed welterweight champion Terence Crawford and former super middleweight champion Gennady Golovkin. While their fight was off, Terence Crawford eventually got his desired fight against Canelo Alvarez. It's the latest huge fight in each man's respective careers, with Crawford having faced the likes of Errol Spence Jr., Sean Porter, and Amir Khan over the years. Canelo has had a number of big fights too against the likes of Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto, Shane Mosley, and Sergey Kovalev, while 3 of them have come against his former bitter foe, Golovkin. Alvarez and Golovkin met over a 5-year period, the first bout coming in September 2017 and ending in a controversial majority draw, though many felt that the Kazakh star should have won.
We don't know. We know he's capable of a lot of things, but we're not going to overlook anything, and that's why we prepare the way we prepare and focus on.
A rematch took place 12 months later, with Canelo claiming a narrow points victory, while the third meeting in 2022 was arguably the most decisive of the 3, as Alvarez again won on points, this time more comfortably. One man who has had first-hand experience in preparing a fighter to face the Mexican icon is Abel Sanchez, who coached Gennady Golovkin in 2 of his bouts against Canelo in 2017 and 2018 respectively.
I think it's a ridiculous fight myself. I think that Crawford is too small. Canelo is, in my opinion, the face of boxing right now. I think that look at his resume. I think it's a good fight for a little while. Crawford's hand speed will, just like when Golovkin fought Kell Brook, the hand speed was evident at the beginning of the fight. But as the fight goes on, Canelo's going to start pounding on him, and I think that the fight ends somewhere between the 9th and 12th round.
Longtime boxing trainer Abel Sanchez talks to Fight Hub TV and shares his perspective on a number of fights in boxing, including some potential ones on the horizon. In particular, Sanchez explains why he believes Canelo Alvarez is a bridge too far for Terence Crawford. Talking about the Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford fight, he said, "Come on, I think it's a ridiculous fight myself. I think that Crawford is too small. Canelo is, in my opinion, the face of boxing right now. Look at his resume. I think it's a good fight for a little while. Crawford's hand speed, just like when Golovkin fought Kell Brook. The hand speed was evident at the beginning of the fight, but as the fight goes on, Canelo is going to start pounding on him, and I think that the fight ends somewhere between the 9th and 12th round. I think anything Canelo hits him with is going to hurt him. He won't be able to catch him early because, like I said, the foot speed and the hand speed, and Crawford's a heck of a fighter at his own weight. 54, when he fought Madrimov in his last fight, showed us the weight makes a difference. I don't care how much weight he gains or how much he does to try to get up to that level, 168 is going to make a difference."
You really think because of the size difference, he can stop Crawford?
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that anything Canelo hits him with is going to hurt him. He won't be able to catch him early because, like I said, the speed and the foot speed and the hand speed. And Crawford's a heck of a fighter at his own weight. 54, when he fought Madrimov in his last fight, showed us that he can't really, the weight makes a difference. I don't care how much weight he gains and how much he does to try to get up to that level, 168, it's going to make a difference.
How you feeling? What's been going on, Terence? Talk to us for a little bit.
I got somewhere to go, man.
Yeah. Can we follow you for just the time being?
Yeah.
Hey guys, you guys are supposed to do interviews over there.
Yep. Terence, I like the way
Don't talk to him.
Mario, don't I got an interview with you?
They haven't told me that. I would love to have an interview. I haven't had an interview with you, a proper interview, in a year and a half.
What's up, man? What you
What's
got?
up, bro?
What you got? Don't get the cold, man.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous fight, because I said it a while ago, Crawford is a great fighter, but he's been the same fighter from 135 to 147. He's still the same fighter. He hasn't changed anything to make him viable at the bigger weights, but Canelo has. Crawford hasn't been destroying his opponents. He destroyed one who was a shell of his former self, but Canelo is destroying everybody that he fights, destroying them, but Crawford's not. Yes, it's a good money fight, but not a real fight. Virgil Ortiz has been open about the fact that he would like to face Crawford should he move back down to 154. If he does so after the Canelo fight, the 27-year-old fan favorite believes it will no longer be with an undefeated record. Speaking to the Ring magazine, Ortiz predicted a very clear win for the naturally bigger man. Just to keep it real, I think he's too small. Yeah, I know he just weighed in at 180 right now, but just putting on the weight and actually belonging to that weight are two different things.
Your move up to 154, how much stronger are you feeling? How much better are you feeling at 54?
I feel great. I feel strong. I feel motivated. You know, I'm just ready to go out here and do my thing.
Yeah.
Terence, tell us about that back and forth with Eddie.
Oh, Eddie.
Yeah, you look a little heated there.
I ain't heated.
No?
Eddie just be throwing rocks and just saying anything that comes to his mind to make himself sound, I don't know.
I would understand if he fought someone of less caliber, but it's Canelo we're talking about. That dude is good. He's been boxing for a long time. I think it's going to be a very clear win for Canelo. He then elaborated saying Crawford gets hit and that he cannot afford to do that against someone like Canelo. I know I'm going to get some hate for saying this. Crawford gets hit. He does. He gets hit like everybody else. Sometimes he gets hit clean. If you get hit clean by Canelo, that's not good. It's really not good, whoever you are. And Canelo's fast. It's not like he's a slow puncher. He will catch you off guard. It's just different. Meanwhile, Canelo's most recent opponent, William Skull, was a larger, younger, and arguably more explosive fighter. Yet Canelo handled him with relative ease, controlling the pace and neutralizing his offense. That performance, according to Davis, proves that Canelo's timing and experience remain potent. He looks sharp, the man lives in the gym, his skills are still elite.
Never like that. The one thing about Crawford is he got guts. Them bums ain't have no guts. Them bums didn't want to win. Crawford want to win. That's it. It ain't about no belt. It ain't about nothing. You didn't sign the contract. We want to win, and he want to be the best, and he is the best. So that's what's going to be the difference. You know, Crawford got guts. He got a fighting spirit. So when you see Crawford, he going to go in there and get busy with Canelo. Don't you even doubt that. You understand? You ain't never seen Crawford stay on the back foot in no fight in his life. You understand? He the type of guy to go get you. So expect him to go get him. We going to do everything we can to him. We going to do whatever we got to do, but
Davis is confident that Crawford can replicate or even surpass his demolition of Errol Spence Jr., an opponent he dominated in a lopsided fashion. Crawford is going to make Canelo look like sludge, Davis predicted, asserting that the Mexican champion won't be able to find the proper sparring to simulate Crawford's style. Ultimately, this fight is more than just a stylistic clash. It's a litmus test for Crawford's greatness across weight classes, and a critical opportunity for Canelo to silence critics who suggest his prime has passed. While Davis and Team Crawford are brimming with confidence, the physical demands of moving up and the legacy of Canelo's experience pose real threats.
But one thing you can expect is Crawford is going to step to him, because you can't beat Canelo going on the back foot forever. You got to go get him. You got to do something, and he better know Crawford is coming.
And when he gets on the inside with Canelo, do you feel he's got the power to hurt and stop him?
Definitely got the power, and he got the speed to counter punch, to his defense, to catch punches, to counter punches, and to let his hands go. Crawford got the speed and to
Alvarez's only 2 career losses have come against Floyd Mayweather and Dimitri Bivol, and Mayweather's former manager Jay Prince thinks Crawford will add another defeat to Alvarez's record. The fight is expected to take place at super middleweight, meaning Crawford will need to jump up 2 weight classes, as his last fight was at 154 pounds.
Adramov, the beast. Wow, the beast. I truly feel that Virgil now is on a different level.
Final one from me. What did you say to Eddie Hearn in the aftermath of that win tonight?
No, good. Just, good fight. That's it. I mean, I think I'm 0-20 now, so... Or no, Eddie's 0-20. I think he's 0-4 or 5 with me, so it's okay. We're just chipping away. We're gonna have losses too. We're gonna have wins too. But I think tonight.
While Alvarez has the weight advantage, Jay Prince reckons Crawford has the skills to get the job done. Speaking to Sean Zittel, he said, "I believe Crawford beats Canelo. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Crawford is one of those guys." Prince, though, refused to say anything bad about Alvarez, saying, "Of course, we can't say anything bad about Canelo because he is the top of the top too, but that's my opinion."
What's important is that both fighters came out good. Everything's good. Virgil won. Great fights. Great night for boxing.
This is the final one. You spoke to me the other day. You said that Virgil's first fight, he said to Jerry Jones, he's going to sell it out.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a reality?
Absolutely. 1,000%. Virgil.
I've been beating up big dudes all my life.
Because they underestimate your bud.
It's just, even if they didn't, I'm going to beat you up. You know, I can fight.
Right.
You know, so if you watch, like, all these dudes bigger than me.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't care, but I'm going to find a way to win, no matter what.
In September, are you going to pull this? I shook up the world. I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you.
Jay Prince also downplayed suggestions that putting on the extra weight will diminish Crawford, saying, "I think Crawford has no wear and tear on him that I've witnessed watching him spar and watching him in the ring over the years, and he knows what he is doing. Canelo Alvarez is powerful and has been fighting at super middleweight for a considerable amount of time. Hence, he has a better feel of the division than Alvarez, who fights at a much lower weight class. That said, Crawford is as skillful as they come."
Okay. Hey, John, I don't have much time left with you, so I appreciate the time that I've gotten with you. I'm curious to get your insight on a fight coming up between Terence Crawford and Canelo in September. Crawford's moving up a few weight classes to meet Canelo. Just your insight. How does Crawford cross that bridge? How does he nullify the weight difference and get a win against Canelo?
I don't know. You know, to tighten up and get out of there. Man, Crawford gonna beat the daylights. I mean, Crawford gonna beat him, man. I'm telling you, Crawford gonna beat him. And Canelo ain't no slouch. I'm just saying. But when you get Crawford in there, it's just gonna go. He just gonna go up another notch. You know, the last guy we fought didn't want to fight. Canelo gonna bring the fight. He gonna do something. And every mistake he make, we gonna capitalize on it.
And just lastly, obviously you would have seen people saying that the size and all this, but then other people were saying, well, I mean, look to the face-off, the size isn't actually...
Alvarez, though, needs to take care of business against William Skull first on May 3rd. He aims to become the undisputed super middleweight champion again with a win against Skull. Terence Crawford has never shied away from a challenge, and now it looks like his next one could be the biggest of his career, literally. Talks are heating up for a September showdown against Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds, a fight that would pit two pound-for-pound greats against each other in a battle that could define the era. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.